Hi students, already we discussed the definitions of semi-group, monoid and then group definition also completed. Two problems on group also completed. One is prove that the set of integers under usual addition is a group, and the next one is set of all non-zero rational numbers forms a group with respect to usual multiplication. Right? Now we will see the next problem on that one, which is prove that right? Prove that Z comma star is a group where star is defined as A star B equal to A plus B plus 1 for any A comma B belongs to Z. Here what is this Z? Z is set of integers. So we need to prove that set of integers is a group with respect to this binary operation star, where star is defined as A star B equal to A plus B plus 1. This is the symbol of asterisk, right? So we will see how do we prove that which is a group. What is meant by a group? An algebraic system G comma star is said to be a group if it satisfies first property closure, second one associative, third one existence of identity, and the fourth one is existence of inverse, right? So we start the solution of this one. Here given set is set of integers, and the binary operation is star, which is defined as A star B equal to A plus B plus 1, right? So for any A comma B belongs to set of integers Z. Now we check the first property, which is closure property. What is the closure property? For any A comma B belongs to Z, what is the set here? Set of integers, right? Here this Z with this symbol, one more line, it represents that set of integers. So for any A comma B belongs to Z, we need to check out whether A star B belongs to Z or not. Here how can we define A star B, which is A plus B plus 1, right? Where A comma B belongs to set of integers Z. So whenever we consider two integers, the sum of integers is again an integer. So A plus B is also an integer. If we add 1 to that integer, again it is an integer. Suppose if we take 3 comma 4 belongs to set of integers Z, then its addition 3 plus 4 is also an integer. Again, whenever we are adding 1 to that integer, that means 3 plus 4 is 7 belongs to Z. Again, if we add 1 to that integer, what is 7 plus 1? 8 also belongs to Z, right? So because here A comma B belongs to Z, if we add these two A and B, it is an integer, and if we add 1 to that particular integer, again it is an integer, so that closure property satisfies. Why? Because A star B belongs to Z. So we can write it as closure property satisfies. The second property of group is associative. Right? What is associative property? Associative property is for any A comma B comma C belongs to set of integers A star B star C equal to A star B star C. Now we check out whether that is equal or not. If it is equal, then associative property satisfies. So consider the LHS part. What is LHS of this one? A star B star C. Here A star B is defined as A plus B plus 1. Then apply the again star C, right? So you treat this as one element and C is the second element. Apply star in between these two. When we apply the star in between two elements, we write first element plus second element, then plus 1. Here the first element is A plus B plus 1 plus second element is C, then plus 1. Right? We get A plus B plus C plus 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we consider RHS. What is RHS? RHS is A star B star C. First priority is for brackets, so that apply the star operation in between these two. B star C is B plus C plus 1. Now treat this as one element. A is the second element. So apply the star operation again in between these two. First element plus second element B plus C plus 1 plus 1. So which is A plus B plus C plus 2. Right? So these two are equal, which is obtained by using A star B star C, and it is obtained from A star B star C, which is LHS is equal to RHS, implies associative property satisfies. Right? So what is the third property? Third property of a group is right? Third property of a group is existence of identity. Existence of identity. What is the property? For any A belongs to set is Z here, there exists E belongs to the set, that is E belongs to Z, such that A star E equal to E star A equal to A. So if we consider any element of given set Z, by applying the element E, A carries as A, then we call that element E is identity element of that corresponding set. Because here we can't find directly what is the identity element, so let us assume this condition or this part. And we assume this one and find out the corresponding value of E. If that E value belongs to the given set, therefore identity exists. If E value does not belong to the given set, identity does not exist. So let us assume that A star E equal to A. Otherwise take E star A equal to A. So how this star is defined here? A plus E plus 1. First element plus second element plus 1 is equal to A. Both sides E gets cancelled. We get E plus 1 equal to 0. Implies E is equal to minus 1 by taking 1 to RHS side. So what is E? E is minus 1. Now our question is whether this minus 1 belongs to the given set or not. Yes, it belongs to set of integers, right? Therefore, for any A belongs to the given set, there exists E is equal to minus 1 belongs to Z such that A star E equal to E star A is equal to A, right? So, if we take in the place of E minus 1 and if you apply the star operation in between these two, you will get A carries as same A. Therefore, E is equal to minus 1 is identity element, right? So, in the previous class, we have discussed the set Z comma plus is a group in their additive identity is 0. Here, we are discussing about Z comma star. So, identity element is minus 1. So, what is the conclusion from the previous sum and this sum? Whenever we change the operation, the automatically identity element also will change. So, in problem 1, when we discuss Z comma plus is a group, there the identity element is 0. 0 is the additive identity element. That means 0 is the identity element with respect to the operation addition. Here this minus 1 is the identity element with respect to the operation star, where star is defined as A star B equal to A plus B plus 1, right? So what is the fourth property of a group, which is the inverse property, otherwise existence of inverse. So what is the condition? For any A belongs to the set Z, there exists B belongs to Z such that A star B equal to B star A is equal to E. Because directly we can't say what is its inverse. In that condition, in that case, assume this condition satisfies and find out the corresponding element B. If B belongs to the given set of integers, then we can say that inverse exists, right? So that we assume that let A star B is equal to E. How this star is defined in this sum, which is A plus B plus 1 is equal to, what is E here? In this sum, identity element is minus 1. So we get B is equal to minus 2 minus A. Now our question is whether this B value belongs to the set of integers or not. How can we decide this one? Because we are considering A is an integer, so obviously minus A is an integer. So whenever minus A is an integer, subtract minus 2 from any integer, the resultant value is also an integer. So minus 2 minus A also an integer. So when we consider any A belongs to Z, there exists B is equal to minus 2 minus A belongs to Z such that A star B is equal to B star A is equal to identity element minus 1 implies B is equal to minus 2 minus A is an inverse of element A with respect to the operation star. So here it satisfies closure property, associative property, identity and inverse. Therefore, set of integers with respect to operation star is a group. Suppose in the examination they may also ask like this, prove that Z comma star is an abelian group. If they ask like that, prove that it is an abelian group. It also satisfies abelian or commutative property. What is the abelian property? For any two elements A comma B belongs to Z, what is the property? A star B equal to B star A. If it satisfies, then we say which is a commutative group or abelian group. So that consider LHS part. What is LHS? A star B. How this star is defined here? A plus B plus 1. Here A, B both elements belongs to the set Z, which is set of integers. So in the set of integers we can write A plus B as B plus A, because 1 plus 2 is nothing but 2 plus 1. So B plus A plus 1, which is nothing but B star A. So A star B is equal to B star A implies abelian also satisfies. Thus also we can say that set of integers with respect to multiplication is an abelian group. Right? Next we will see another problem. Next we see the next problem on these groups, that is problem number 4. Prove that the set of all cube roots of unity forms an abelian group. Right? Here show that the set of all cube roots of unity. First we will see what is the set of all cube roots of unity. Right? So start the solution, which is set of cube roots of unity which is set 1 comma omega square, right? So which is set of cube roots of unity. So let us take it as, let G is equal to set 1 comma omega square. Till now we discussed 3 problems on these groups. First one is Z comma plus is an abelian group. Next, second one is set of all non-zero rational numbers, that is Q star, with respect to multiplication is an abelian group. The previous one is set of all integers is an abelian group with respect to the star, where star is defined as A star B equal to A plus B plus 1. Here the problem is cube roots of unity. The previous 3 sums, first one is set of integers. In the second problem, set is non-zero rational numbers. Again in the third problem, set is set of integers. Those 3 problems, given sets are infinite sets, because which consisting of infinite number of elements. But here cube roots of unity, which is a finite set, which consisting of how many elements? 3 elements. What are those? 1 omega square. These are the 3 elements. Whenever the given set consisting of finite number of elements, then easy thing is construct the table using the given binary operation. What is the binary operation here? Which is multiplication. Prove that the set of all cube roots of unity forms an abelian group, which is multiplication. But here the binary operation is not given, but indirectly we have to take it as multiplication. So construct the multiplication table. Construction of multiplication table. Right, what are the elements of given set? 1 omega square. What is the operation here? Multiplication. Because in the set of cube roots of unity, so all of you know that omega cube is equal to 1, right? So if you apply the multiplication 1 into 1, 1, 1 into omega, 1 into omega square is omega square, right? If we apply the again multiplication for the second row, omega into 1 is omega, omega into omega is omega square, omega into omega square is omega cube, which is value is 1. Next, omega square into 1 omega square into omega cube, omega is omega cube, which is equal to 1. Next, omega square into omega square is omega to the power 4, which is omega cube into omega, which is equal to 1 into omega, it is omega, right? So its value is omega. Whenever the given set consisting of finite number of elements, easy way to prove that the given set is a group, otherwise not a group, easy way is construction of a table with respect to the given binary operation. Because here the set consisting of 3 elements, we construct the multiplication table. Right? To prove that the given set is a group, what is the first property? Closure property. If we observe this multiplication table, all the resultant values 1 omega square, all the resultant values in this table are elements of G. Therefore, closure property satisfies. What is the closure property? Whenever we consider 2 elements of a set and apply the operation on those 2 elements, the resultant element must belongs to the set. So, here in the multiplication table, all the resultant elements are elements of G. So by applying the multiplication operation, all the elements are elements of G. So closure property satisfies. What is the second property of a group? Which is associative property. What is the associative property? So for any ABC belongs to G, A star B star C is equal to A star B star C. Here the elements of G are complex numbers, right? How can we get these? All these 1 omega square are roots of the equation x cube is equal to 1. Otherwise, omega cube is equal to 1. If we solve that particular equation, one root is 1, other 2 roots are complex numbers, right? So, elements of set G are complex numbers, and product of complex numbers satisfies associative property So associative property satisfies. Why here the associative property satisfies? These 3 elements are roots of the equation x cube is equal to 1 or omega cube is equal to 1. If we find out those 3 roots, one of the root is 1, other 2 roots are complex numbers, this one omega and omega square. So complex number set C, set of all complex numbers satisfies associative property with respect to multiplication. Therefore, the second property satisfies. Right, now I am continuing here. What is the third property? Which is existence of identity. Right, how can we say that the identity property exists? What is this property, otherwise condition? For any A belongs to G, there exists E belongs to G, such that here the operation is multiplication, so we represent it by dot. A into E equal to E into A is equal to 1. So whenever we multiply this A by E, A carries itself. A carries itself. If we observe the table, 1 into 1 is 1, omega into 1 is omega, omega square into 1 is omega square. So if we multiply any element by 1, we will get the same element. So from the table, one is identity element, because if we multiply any element of set G by 1, the element carries itself. So 1 is identity element of G with respect to multiplication. What is the fourth property, which is inverse property? By observing table, so from table, what is the inverse property? For any A belongs to G, there exists B belongs to G such that A into B equal to B into A is equal to identity element. Here the identity element is 1. Right? If we see the table, inverse of 1 is 1, because 1 into 1 is equal to 1. Again from the table, inverse of omega, by which element if we multiply omega we will get 1 here. So multiplying omega by omega square we will get 1. So inverse of omega is omega square, and inverse of omega square, if we multiply this omega square by omega we get 1. So inverse of omega square is omega, right? So all the four properties are completed. What is the next property? Fifth one, abelian. Since the set of complex numbers satisfies abelian property, therefore set of cube roots of unity forms an abelian group with respect to multiplication. Right? Similarly, you may also try the problem, prove that the set of all fourth roots of unity forms an abelian group and nth roots of unity forms an abelian group, because nth roots of unity which consisting of infinite numbers, by using the conditions only we can prove that problem, right? So set of all cube roots of unity or fourth roots of unity or nth roots of unity, the operation is multiplication only. Next we will see the properties of a group. What is the first property? The identity element of a group G is unique, right? So how can we prove the uniqueness? To prove the uniqueness, we are assuming that two identity elements are there, and finally we prove that those two identity elements are same, right? Which is the first property. So let E1 comma E2 be two identity elements of group G. Because E1 is an identity element, implies for any A belongs to G, because E1 is identity, A star E1 is equal to E1 star A is equal to A, right? These two are identity elements of group G, means that every identity element must belongs to the set, right? This property is valid for any A belongs to Z, since E2 belongs to G. In the place of A, replace by E2, because E2 is also an element of G. So we can write it as E2 star E1 is equal to E1 star E2 is equal to, right? So here A carries as A same one, E2 carries as same E2. Let it be equation 1, right? So next, here how can we write this property? Since E1 is identity. Similarly, since E2 is also identity of group G, by using identity property, right? For any A belongs to G, A star E2 is equal to E2 star A is equal to A, right? So whenever the element is identity element, if we multiply by A carries as A itself, right? So since here E1 is also an element of G, if we replace A by E1, we get E1 star E2 is equal to E2 star E1 is equal to, we are replacing A by E1 is equal to E1. It is equation 2, right? From equations 1 and 2, if you observe here, E2 star E1 equal to E1 star E2 equal to E2, the same thing E1 star E2 equal to E2 star E1 equal to E1. So we will get E2 star E1 is equal to E1 star E2, which is equal to E2 here. In equation 2, it is equal to E1. Implies E1 is equal to E2. We are assuming that two identity elements of group G are existing, but finally we are proving that those two identity elements are same. Therefore, identity element of group G is unique. Identity element of group G is unique. Next we will see the next next we see the next property of group. First property already we proved that, which is identity element of a group G is unique. Here if G comma star is a group, then every element in the group G has a unique inverse in G. So similar to the property 1, in property 1 we prove that identity element of a group G is unique. Here also, for any element of a group G, if inverse exists, it is also unique. Whenever to prove that uniqueness, we are assuming that two elements exist, and finally we are proving that those two elements are same, right? See the proof. Let A be an element of group G. A be any element of group G, and B inverse comma C inverse B inverse of, otherwise we take it as A1 inverse comma A2 inverse B inverse B, two inverses of element, same element A, right? So since A1 inverse means remove this inverse also, right? So A is any element of group G, and A1 comma A2 be two inverses of element A. since A1 is inverse of element A, by the property of inverse we have A1 star A equal to A star A1 is equal to which element? Whenever to say that B is an inverse of A star B is equal to B star A is equal to identity element of that group, right? So here also we are assuming that A is any element of a group G, and A1 comma A2 be two inverses of element A. Initially we consider A1 is inverse of element A. Because A1 is inverse, when we apply A1 and A in between binary operation, so A1 star A equal to A star A1 is equal to E, since G is a group. So we are proving here in a group. So for any group, if A1 is inverse of A1 star A is equal to identity element, right? So similarly, since A2 is an inverse of element A, we write A2 star A is equal to A star A2 is equal to E, right? So again, since G is a group, right? So A1 star A is equal to A star A1 is equal to E. Let it be 1. A2 star A equal to A star A2 is equal to A. Right? So now we consider A1. Right? Consider A1. A1 can be written as A1 star E, since G is a group and A1 belongs to group G. So for any element of a group G, if we multiply that element by identity element, we will get the same element A1, right? So which is equal to A1 star, this E is replaced by A star E2 from equation 2, this part. So by using the property of associative, changing of brackets is by associative law, because it is a group which satisfies all the four properties: closure, associative, identity and inverse. So A1 star A value is E star A2 from equation 1, right? So any element which is operated using the identity element, we will get the same element A2 using identity property. Therefore, A1 is equal to A2. Initially, we are assuming that A1 and A2 are two inverses of same element A, and finally we conclude that A1 is equal to A2, right? Finally, we conclude that A1 is equal to A2. Therefore, in a group G, inverse of any element is unique, right? Inverse of any element is unique. So what is the conclusion from property 2? If we consider any element of a group G, its inverse is always unique. From property 1, always the identity element of a group G is unique. Next we see next property which is property 3. If G is a group, then A star B whole inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse for all A comma B belongs to G, right? So in set theory, AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose A transpose. Like that here also A star B whole inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse. The same thing we can write in terms of sentence, the inverse of the product of, right, the inverse of product of two elements of a group is nothing but product of their inverses in reverse order. So in the first LHS side we take in the A and then B. In the RHS we take first B and then A in the reverse order. Now we will see this proof. Let A comma B belongs to G. Since G is a group, so because G is a group, G satisfies the closure property AB. That means not AB, A star B. By using the closure property, A star B belongs to G by closure. And also A inverse belongs to G and B inverse belongs to G by using inverse property, right? By using inverse property. Since A inverse is inverse of A, we can write it as A star A inverse is equal to A inverse star A is equal to identity element E. Similarly, since B inverse is inverse of B, we can write B star B inverse is equal to B inverse star B is equal to E. 1, let it be 2, right? Now consider A star B inverse star A inverse, which is equal to A star B inverse star A inverse by using associative property. So we can write it as A star B inverse star A inverse by associative. B star B inverse is equal to E from equation 2. Because E is the identity element of a group G, A star E is equal to A by using identity property. So A star A inverse is equal to E from equation 1. Right? So here we get A star B star A inverse star B inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse is equal to E. Right? We will see the next part. Now consider B inverse star A inverse star A star B by using same associative property B inverse star A inverse star A star B, B inverse star A inverse star A is E star B from equation 1. From equation 1, which is B inverse star B, since E star B equal to B using identity properties. B star B is E from equation B inverse star B from equation 2. Therefore, B inverse star A inverse star A star B is equal to E. Thus, we get A star B star B inverse star A inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse star A star B equal to E. If you observe clearly, it is in the form of which is equal to E. If you observe clearly, it is in the form of some like C star some D is equal to E. If we treat it as C star D is equal to E. Otherwise, D star C is equal to E. C star D is equal to D star C is equal to E. Then we say that D is inverse of C, otherwise C is inverse of D, right? C star D is equal to E. So what is the conclusion? Inverse of C is D. So inverse of A star B is B inverse star A inverse, which can be represented as inverse of A star B means A star B whole inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse, right? So, we prove that finally A star B whole inverse is equal to B inverse star A inverse. This is the proof of property 3. Next we see the fourth property, which is if G is a group, then A inverse whole inverse is equal to A for any A belongs to G. Otherwise, we can say that if the inverse of A is A inverse, then the inverse of A inverse is A. Let A belongs to G implies A inverse also belongs to G since G is a group. Because G is a group, for any element of a group G, its inverse exists and it belongs to the group G. So A inverse belongs to G. And also we know the property A star A inverse is equal to A inverse star A is equal to E. What is E? Identity element. Now consider A inverse whole inverse star A inverse star A, right? So, which is equal to A inverse whole inverse star A inverse star A value is, which is nothing but identity element, so which is replaced by E. Because E is the identity element of a group G, if we multiply E by any element, we get that element. So, A inverse whole inverse into E is equal to A inverse whole inverse. Now, see the left hand side. By using associative property, it is A inverse whole inverse star A inverse, then star A, right? By using associative. So, left side we use associative and right side we use the property of identity. Because here G is a group. If we observe this one, here what is the element? A inverse is there. It is like some B. B inverse star B. If we assume A inverse is equal to B, B inverse star B. B inverse star B is nothing but E. So, E star A is equal to A inverse whole inverse. It is like B inverse star B, which is E by inverse. So, by multiplying any element with an identity element, we get that same element. So, E star A is equal to A by identity. Therefore, A inverse whole inverse is equal to A for any A belongs to group G. This is about property 4. Now see property 5. If every element of a group, right, please change this one. If every element of a group G has its own inverse, then G is abelian. That means A has its own inverse. Means that A is equal to A inverse. Let X be any element of group G. X be any element of group G. Let assume that every element of group G has its own inverse. Has its own inverse implies inverse of X is X only. How can we represent this inverse of X is X only? Inverse of X means X inverse is equal to X for any X belongs to G, right? Because here the assumption is every element of group G has its own inverse. Now let us consider A comma B belongs to G, right? So by using closure property, AB belongs to G. By using closure property, AB, otherwise because here the operation is star, A star B belongs to G. And also A inverse comma B inverse belongs to G by using inverse property. Now consider AB, right? Because here A inverse and B inverse belongs to G, we can write here from this step A star B belongs to G. For any element of group G has its own inverse. A star B inverse is same A star B. Here also A inverse belongs to G. A inverse, right? Its inverse is also A. Now consider A star B. Because A star B is equal to A star B whole inverse, we replace it by A star B whole inverse. So using property 3, already we derived this property, property 3. What is property 3? A star B whole inverse is B inverse star A inverse, right? So what is B inverse? Because every element of group G has its own inverse, A inverse is equal to A and B inverse is equal to B. So B inverse is B, A inverse is A, right? So implies A star B is equal to B star A for any A comma B belongs to G. So if A star B equal to B star A implies G is an abelian group, right? So in any group, every element has its own inverse, then G is abelian. This property 5 is important property, right? So in the next class, we will see the next properties. Thank you.